Antiques Roadshow guest stunned by rare Michelin Man statue's true value and its surprising history. The Antiques Roadshow expert couldn't hide his excitement as he examined the vintage Michelin Man figure, a piece of advertising history that left him speechless. The guest, who had brought in the item, explained that his wife had purchased it for just $7 at a yard sale 2 decades earlier, a find that now turned out to be a rare treasure. As the expert carefully turned the figure over in his hands, he pointed out the intricate details that marked it as an original from 1925. "What's fascinating about this," he began, "is that Michelin advertising figures from this era were usually much smaller. This larger size is exceptionally uncommon." He went on to explain that most surviving examples were made of plaster, but this one appeared to be constructed from an early form of reinforced composite, likely a mix of plaster and another material to ensure durability. The mysterious cigar detail. One of the most intriguing features of the figure was the presence of a cigar in the Michelin Man's mouth, a detail that the expert confirmed was typical for the time. In the early 20th century, the Michelin Man was often depicted with a cigar, which reflected the advertising style of the era, he said. It was seen as a sign of confidence and prosperity, though that aspect of the character was phased out in later years. The guest chuckled, admitting he had never noticed the cigar before. "I always thought it was just a weird little bump in the design," he said. "Now that you mention it, it does look like he's smoking." The expert nodded, explaining that early Michelin advertising leaned heavily into playful, even humorous imagery to make the brand more relatable. Bibendum, the official name of the Michelin Man, was designed to be friendly and approachable. The cigar was part of that charm, though today it might seem a bit unusual. A rarity in advertising history. The expert emphasized just how rare the piece was. "I've handled hundreds of advertising figures over the years, but I've never encountered one like this," he admitted. Most surviving Michelin Man statues from this period are in museums or private collections, and even then, they're usually smaller promotional items, not full-sized display pieces. He theorized that this particular figure may have been used in a dealership or store window to attract customers. Michelin was expanding rapidly in the US during the 1920s, and they produced a variety of promotional items to establish their brand. A piece like this would have been eye-catching, something to draw people in. The valuation shock. When it came time to estimate the figure's worth, the expert hesitated. "It's always tricky to appraise something this rare because there's no direct market comparison," he said. After a moment of consideration, he gave a range of $1,200 to $1,500, adding that in the right auction setting, it could even fetch $1,800 or more. The guest's eyes widened. "For something my wife bought for $7, he laughed. "I think I owe her a nice dinner after this." The expert agreed, joking. "I'd say she deserves a 5-star meal for that find." The legacy of Bibendum. The discussion then turned to the history of the Michelin Man himself. Created in 1898 by French artist Marius Rosselin, who went by the name Obelup, Bibendum was inspired by a stack of tires that Edouard Michelin once remarked looked like a human figure. The mascot quickly became one of the most recognizable advertising icons in the world. Michelin was one of the first companies to really master brand mascots, the expert noted. Before sports mascots or cartoon spokescharacters, there was Bibendum. He wasn't just a logo. He had personality, and that's why he's endured for over a century. What's next for the rare find? Before the segment ended, the expert asked the guest if he planned to keep the figure or sell it. The man paused, then grinned. "You know, I think I'll hold on to it a little longer. If it's this rare now, who knows what it'll be worth in another 20 years. The expert nodded in approval. That's the spirit of collecting. Sometimes the real value is in the story behind the piece. As the guest carefully carried his Michelin Man away, the expert turned to the camera, still visibly impressed. "That," he said, "is why I love Antiques Roadshow. You never know what's going to walk in next." The aftermath. A collector's dream. After the episode aired, news of the rare Michelin Man spread quickly among antique enthusiasts. Several collectors reached out, expressing interest in purchasing the figure, with some offers exceeding the initial estimate. The guest later revealed in an interview that he had decided to keep it as a family heirloom, joking that his wife had officially earned the title of best gift giver in the house.